Welcome to the show, Emir.
Thank you so much for having me.
We have had several conversations, I think, in the last 3 years on various topics. And if I'm not wrong, maybe, yeah, I was one of the very early customers of Hockeystack as well. And I think the last time we met, when we had a similar session, I think I was on the other side of the of the podcast. Now it's good to reverse the seat and be on this side. So, yeah, once again, welcome to the show, Emir.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, you're right. You were one of the first customers. I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty sure it was maybe first five or first three. So I feel like this is a full circle moment. Um, right now I'm on the other side, and we're chatting again after a couple of years. So I'm really excited.
Yes, me too. Yeah. Emir, I mean, we all know you as this, superstar CRO, CMO, and co-founder of Hockeystack. But tell us more, about you as a person and how you, Bugra, and Arda, came up with this brilliant idea of Hockeystack.
Yeah. So um, me and my co-founders, we are originally from Turkey. We are based in San Francisco right now. We have an office. About 95% of our team is in person in San Francisco, working out of at our office 5 days a week. Um, we have been really close friends for the last 8 to 10 years, especially with Bugra, and we have been always building products. I think Bugra had a viral post a couple weeks ago about this too.
Yes, yeah.
Hockeystack didn't really start as like a GTM product or revenue attribution product or anything like that. It was a product analytics tool, very similar to. I feel like it was very similar to Topline. I don't know if anyone knows Topline. I think
Yeah.
they shut down last week. But the idea was basically we had a product like a social media app that was growing really fast, and we were not really tracking retention or anything like that. And it's really important in B2C. I mean, it's important in B2B too, but B2C products need to have retention every single day. It's not like B2B. They're like mostly free or small subscriptions. Anyways, we were getting thousands of users and losing thousands the day after. Um, and then we built like a small dashboard for ourselves where we could track what people are doing in the app, where they're clicking on retention tables and all that stuff. And then at some point, um, we kind of thought like this might be a problem for others as well. And then we built like it was too early for its time. Now that I think about it, there's no like ChatGPT, I mean, there's AI, but not much AI as it's right now. So we thought we can give insights with AI into like what is working in PLG. And this is also early for PLG. Basically, understanding what is converting people from a trial to a paid subscription for B2B SaaS companies or have a product led motion. So then it was too early for its time. It didn't work out. Then we thought about um, like product teams don't really have a lot of budget. I mean, they have budget, but it's not like a marketing team or like a sales team. So then we thought, how can we use this product in a go-to-market way, like marketing or sales? So basically, the product analytics tool, there's a script that you put into your product, and it tracks product data and visualizes the product data. So we thought we can do the same thing for a website and to be like a Google Analytics alternative. Then at this time, this is the exact time where like GA4 was launching. Everyone hates GA4. Google Analytics is being banned in many European countries. So it's like
Yes.
exact timing, and it was a great time. So when we launched that product, we made a lot of money with it. It was like Google Analytics alternative. It was very cheap month-to-month subscriptions, and mainly for SMB agencies and e-commerce stores. So then that took like I think 2 years or so. It was going great, but it was not a business that I want to run. It was mostly like a lifestyle business. It was growing fast on its own, but like I don't know, like a enterprise software company, like a company that can go public or anything like that. So then we thought about going into SaaS because our main ICP was agencies and e-commerce stores. And that's like a really hard market, really hard ICP because agencies and e-commerce stores don't usually have budget. So agencies don't want to spend money. They want to buy label. They want CSV exports, all the things that we don't want to build. And e-commerce stores just want to spend more on Shopify or like Facebook ads or something to get more conversions rather than understanding what's going on in their funnels. So the initial idea came from one of our early like supporters who tried to use the Google Analytics alternative product and then said there's no Salesforce HubSpot integrations, there's no market there's no integrations. So then we thought that there might be something with it. And then we built that. It took a long time to build all those integrations, and then the initial attribution models in Hockeystack version 1, pretty much. Then at this point, this is like where we also started posting on LinkedIn. So like at the same time, we started being active on LinkedIn. So then the version 1 of the product launched, and we got our first couple customers. And then right after that, you became a customer. And then from that point on to like in 1.5 years or so, continuously improved and put on the product and all that. So it worked. It's still really hard, but it was a wild journey. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, really fascinating to hear this. Yeah, I think you launched at the right time, and the way marketers look at metrics or measurement of their campaigns, I think it's completely changed, and I think Hockeystack plays a big role in the way we all look at marketing, then rather just looking at the GA numbers earlier. So I think it has been a big change, and the growth, because I think I've basically seen how Hockeystack grew in the last 3 years. It has been a massive growth. So yeah, huge congrats to the team on that. Yeah,
Think about it, and how I talk about it is Hockeystack made attribution sexy again. Like everyone started talking about attribution. If you look at LinkedIn right now, it's always about attribution, and I think Hockeystack had a big role in it.
definitely. Yes. I mean, what's more interesting is, yeah, I mean, your growth has been massive in the last 3 years. How big is your go-to-market team or your marketing team?
Hockeystack is now at 32 people. Our go-to-market team is like about 8 people, total marketing and sales, 8 to 9.
8 to 9, and it's completely in-house, or you
Yeah,
collaborate with?
completely nice.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
That's really nice.
just yeah.
And yeah, so what is Hockeystack's go-to-market strategy that you can kind of maybe pinpoint on?
Yeah, so Hockeystack until last quarter has been primarily an inbound led business. Marketing led, everything was coming inbound. And last quarter we started outbound with our head of sales development, Alex, and Devin, who joined as a senior SDR, and then now we have 3 more SDRs on the team. So basically we have, in terms of channels, we have LinkedIn, Google, Reddit, and Facebook for retargeting. In terms of like social channels, where LinkedIn we have social, our profiles, and also ads, and then the other channels are ads mainly. And then we have the content component. We have like research, we have template library, we have playbooks, we have all sorts of content that we are distributing through these channels. And recently we also started webinars and then in-person events. And on the outbound side, we're using Hockeystack to basically target people who are engaging with our company and webinar website and all that. And then we also do cold outbound. So my main goal is basically, we have a target account list. How can we make sure this target account list knows that Hockeystack exists, know what we do? If they're right now in market, they will come in. If they're not in market, they at least know what we do, and they will come back. And that usually happens. If they say no right now, they usually come back when the need comes. So what I hear from our customers and prospects, and especially recent customers, because I also interview customers as soon as they sign a contract, is they basically say there's like most people look at marketing as just pipeline generation.
Yeah.
But what I hear from our customers is like, if they're down to 2 alternatives, Hockeystack versus the other alternative, because a lot of people talk about Hockeystack online, and they see my content especially all the time, and they say that like my content specifically resonates with what they think about day to day.
Yeah.
They feel like our customers. This is really interesting. They feel like our customer success team would also speak the same language and understand their pain points and have a better experience. So at some point, you can build a really good product. You can differentiate yourself, and then you can have a great sales process, and then you can also agree on pricing. But then it comes back to like having a brand, and
Mhm.
comes back to how people think about Hockeystack or like your company. And I think I feel like I think about marketing that way. In terms of strategies and tactics, we're relying on content a lot. We're creating content. My philosophy is how can we have something new every single day? We don't need to have something every single day, but if you push for that, then you have a lot of new things in terms of content. Um, and then how can we make it feel like everyone is talking about hockey stack? There's like a bubble where
Mhm.
people are talking about hockey stack and other people are trying to get in. That's what we do. Another part of our strategy is influencer marketing, which I don't know if you want to talk about right now or later on.
Yes, I have. Yeah, I want to talk about that as well. But it's interesting. I mean, there is a good mix of inbound and outbound. And the reason for me asking is recently I saw Bugra's post on how Hockeystack decided that okay, PLG motion is not something that Hockeystack wants to go ahead with. And I think that clarity is kind of very important when you have your go-to-market strategy, because it's not about adding everything to your strategy, but then clearly identifying what you don't want to focus as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that maybe, I mean, I don't know if you have anything that you want to add regarding why you decided that PLG is not the something that you want to focus on.
Yeah. I mean, so like I'm not saying, I mean, Bugra wouldn't say that too. I'm not saying PLG will never be a part of our strategy. I think at some point it will. And I think that point is coming right now, coming soon. But like, if you think about Hockey Stack, it's like we integrate with all of the platforms, including historic data. And then there's like a company transformation that we go through because when we start working with a company, 99% of the time, marketing and sales teams or anyone in our POC team, like on the other side, they're not aligned on goals. So they basically discover what their KPIs are, what their metrics are, what they want to focus on, no matter how big the company is or how small. So like we started working with 5 different public companies last month. These are like billion-dollar AR companies, and all of them also go through the same thing. They're like, what exactly do we want to measure? And then if you want to do a PLG motion where like someone signs up and then they use their credit card and then or like they just do a free trial, you either deploy customer success resources to be with them or you just leave them. On one hand, if you deploy customer success resources, especially if you have a good brand and you deploy hundreds of hours every month on free trials, and in the best case scenario, let's say you converted 50%, you still lose a lot of hours where you can spend that with your customers. On the other hand, there's no way a company will sign up, bring everyone from the team to a call, sync, do the onboarding themselves, and also build dashboards and also build reports and get insights and then also implement that in, I don't know, 2 weeks or 2 months. So that became really hard. I mean, I feel like a lot of founders and a lot of teams also get into the same trap. We thought like this is a feature and everyone is doing PLG and we should do it as well. It was a massive fail and we lost a lot of money. I think it's just like no matter what the trend is right now, if it doesn't work for your company, and usually have a lot of people, a lot of leaders have good instincts. So if your instinct says no, PLG would not work for our specific business model, although every single VC, all the leaders are doing it, it's not going to work for a company, and it's okay. Like think about, I don't know, really fast growing company right now that I'm following closely, also a YC company, Rippling.
Yeah.
It's like can Rippling have a PLG motion where you give away benefits and payroll to a company PLG? No problem. I mean, no, because
Yeah.
it's not built for that. Very similar to us, it's not built for PLG. So, but I think um, this is probably gonna, if we can really, yeah, if we let's release this in like 2 weeks or so. We just because I'm gonna tell about our Series A. We just gonna do the Series A. And with our Series A, we are launching 3 new products. and one or two of them will be able to be a PLG motion because they are like simpler to set up and additional products that doesn't need reporting. So that's how I think about it.
Yes, I think, I mean, it's interesting that you're taking in these insights, feedback, and then kind of continuously optimizing your go-to-market strategy. So I think, yeah, that it's kind of interesting that you include, okay, this is not, this is something that we don't want to include in your go-to-market strategy as well. Yeah. Just coming back to the influencer part, because I think the flow by Hockeystack, that was kind of a game changer. I think, yeah, maybe 2 years ago is when you initially launched it, and then we have seen how that grew. And I know you also mentioned that influencer marketing is something that you focus a lot on. So, what exactly is the strategy, and how do you identify the influencers? What's the collaboration?
Yeah. So I think we launched Flow last year. Yeah. So the Flow, for anyone that doesn't know, it was, and it's getting a revamp right now. It's gonna be back soon. It was Netflix will be marketing teams. That was the idea. So the first idea was basically Bugra and I were posting a lot, and we were getting like, hey, I remember you posted about something 2 weeks ago. I cannot find it. Can you send it to me? We were getting DMs like that. And I thought it would be really, really cool if we can post some of our content that we do on LinkedIn, like best content on our website. So that if you're on our website, if you're checking our resources, you can also see that our profiles, and then that would create like a loop where people check out our website, go to LinkedIn, they see our content, and then they follow us there as well. So then they can see us more. So that was the first idea. Then we built that. It was all right. Then Obed Durrani, who worked at Hockeystack for I think a little bit over a year, maybe 14, 15 months, who I hired back then, like this was beginning of last year. So when he interviewed at Hockeystack, he had the same idea, but it was more like, how can we create original content for Hockeystack using our product, using our partnerships, and then host it on one single page rather than doing like, this is our webinars page, then this is our blog post, this is our newsletter, like all these different pages. Then I told him about the flow, and he was super excited. He joined. In 1 year, we went from like literally nothing to everyone talking about Hockeystack. That is, I think, the core of that was a part of the big part of it was the flow. Basically, what we did is we divided into a couple categories. One category was internal content creators. We leveraged our customer success team, we leveraged our marketing team, we leveraged our sales team, we leveraged founders. And then one part was external creators. So we worked with a lot of different influencers, and we also went to them to say, hey, you have this podcast, let's host it on the flow. We will take care of editing and distribution, and then you will just focus on the content. With some of them, we did skits and short form content, and then we leveraged LinkedIn ads to basically distribute all of that in our social profiles and company page. And then the other part was documentation. So we turned documentation into Hockeystack Academy, where we recorded videos around like how to build reports, how to build dashboards, and then we also turned it into like a series called Can You Dashboard It, where in 90 seconds, literally from our customer success team builds a report. So we tried to do like, how can we have a product piece of it, a piece where we leverage influencers, and a piece where we literally show product.
Interesting. So, how do you basically promote this? I know this sits on the website. How do you promote this? Is it just through influencers posting it on LinkedIn, and then from the founders and co-founders sharing it, or is there anything else as well that you focus on in promotion?
Yeah. Some of these content, like especially the skits, are our best performing LinkedIn ads. So highest CTR, highest engagement is some of our flow videos that we did with influencers. So the important thing with this is, now our strategy changed a little bit as the company grew, but so in the beginning, I think if you're starting out with influencer marketing, it's important to work with a lot of influencers so that you can basically see what's working, what's not working. So we did that, and then influencers were posting about it. We were posting about it. We were running ads on the posts that worked well in the feed.
Yeah.
Then we changed up a little bit. We did like a smaller number of influencers, but bigger accounts pretty much. So like Exit 5, for example, is a big partnership that is like a larger following, but then you cannot do Exit 5 and 10 others, both from I mean, we do Exit 5 plus, I think, 7 or 8 right now. We have a influencer partnership team, but you cannot do like Exit 5 and then 30 other influencers because that would be too much. Because like, once Dave Garrett posts about something, then pretty much all of those influencers audiences also see the same post, so it will be too much. So it's important to balance there.
Yes, yes. I mean, I know influencer marketing is kind of a hot topic. Everyone or every company wants to do it, but then it's not easy. It's not something that you can just pull off like that. I think it needs a lot of effort and yeah, a lot of collaboration as well. So yeah. And one
Thank you.
interesting point that you also mentioned, that which is very true, that a lot of people have started talking about Hockeystack in the last 2 years, especially on LinkedIn, in communities and other social channels as well. How did you guys basically do this? Is this completely on influencer marketing plus the founder led kind of marketing, or how exactly did you pull this up? Because it's not something that's easy. It's not something that, even if everyone knows, okay, maybe this is how we can do, but I don't think it's not easy to pull that up.
Do you mean how we did, like how we basically made everyone kind of talk about Hockeystack?
Yes, a lot of people talking about Hockeystack when there were already a couple of other tools, like especially like GA4 or maybe one or two other alternatives as well that was kind of well known. Through those, you basically got people, talking more about Hockeystack in 2 years, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are a few things that we did. So Hockeystack in general is this is gonna be I mean, Hockeystack is a product-led company, not in like free trial or freemium way. We focus on product. We like one of our top values internally is we want to build the best product for our category. We're product-led. If we have, I mean, our biggest budget is R&D. We spend money on product. We build product. So the first thing that we did is we launched really fast and we turned them into great videos that we were posting on LinkedIn almost every day. So every day we were posting about something new and we were building really fast. So this is like the first strategy, like growth hack, maybe if you want to call that. So then what happened was people started like looking at it, and because you see something new every day, then you want to look at it. So that was like the first wave. Second is something that you cannot plan. This was pure luck. One of our earliest customers basically said, hey, LinkedIn impressions and engagement on Campaign Manager, it only shows the first 25. How can I see the rest? So we, in the beginning, and now that I can tell it because it's been a long time. In the beginning, what we did was we were scraping LinkedIn's UI to get engagement and impressions on all the accounts. Now there's an API, but basically we launched that first, and that was like the biggest wave back then, where everyone knew about Hockeystack suddenly because it was something new. Then every single other company copied it once LinkedIn launched an API for it. Basically, it forced LinkedIn to release an API for this. So that was a huge thing. And it was pure luck. If the customer didn't tell about us, then we wouldn't probably build it, but it was pure luck. Then it became like a few really core influencer partnerships that made people know about it. And then the next wave was like the flow and more content. And then the next wave was Hockeystack Labs. And then now, in my opinion, it's going to be the new things that we are launching. And the next wave of Hockeystack is going to be AI first and our new products. So it was like waves all the time. So at specific time periods, you have something that is interesting, and then you change it, and then you change it, because at any given point in time, go to market, the things that are working stop working, as you also know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I've seen how much you spend on R&D, or rather how quickly you kind of bring in new features and integrations and all that, because we have clearly seen in the I mean, when our collaboration started like 2 years ago. So yeah, I mean, you were very quick at coming up with new features, and yeah, I mean, you were basically there to support the customers as well, which I don't know how many founders continue to do after they become maybe slightly bigger. So I think yeah, definitely R&D is a big play when it comes to Hockeystack. One last question before we end, and that is, I mean, which are your top three, growth channels that is driving revenue for you?
Yeah. Right now, it is LinkedIn ads, outbound. I mean, LinkedIn ads and cold calls mainly. We are a cold heavy organization. I know it's probably very different than in Europe, but we are a
Hmm.
very cold heavy organization where 75% of our SDR's time goes into calls. And then third is right now, I mean, LinkedIn social and all that, we talk about it. So I want to give something new. Our third thing right now is becoming word of mouth / partnerships. So basically what happened is we are now complementing a variety of tools, like for example, G2 or like LinkedIn ads or I don't know, any other integrations that we have. So we don't have a former team right now, which I'm building in Q4. Um, Basically, these platforms and their success teams refer customers to Hockeystack because G2 works better with Hockeystack, LinkedIn ads work better with Hockeystack.
Yeah.
Now Reddit is also focusing on B2B. Reddit works better with Hockeystack, so it's all pulling back to Hockeystack.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, we are using all of these, so yeah, we clearly know how we can see the best value of these platforms when we use Hockeystack as well. So, yeah, a lot of insights. Thank you so much, Emir, for sharing your insights, your experience with us today. And I mean, it's been fascinating to hear how you build and scaled Hockeystack along with your team. And I mean, also to know more about your go-to-market strategy, how you come up with those, and your community engagement, and how you basically grew in kind of very short period of time. So, thank you so much, Amir. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.